Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Vicente Yañez. This podcast presented by Kitestring takes you behind the scenes of retail tech. We talk about the insights, the hot topics, all from the voices of the people who live and breathe it every day. So picture this situation. You're at home, pull out your browser, and some big events coming over, so you go to your favorite online store and find that dress. And today there's a lot of capabilities that you can do online just to go and check that dress, see the fits, check all the availability. You're ready to go, but you're not sure if it's going to fit, how it's going to look, right? And you can use some features online, but your final part, you wanted to go to the store. So you complete your transaction and say, you know what, send this to the store so I can run by real quick, check it out, pick it up there, and my transaction is quick. I don't have to spend a lot of time on the sales floor and just go in, go out, because I already did all my research, all my stuff that I want to do online. Today with us is someone who works in this kind of environment, the e-commerce environment, which is and it has been, and I'm pretty sure it will be, one of the key aspects of how we buy, how we interact with our everything today. Leo, how are you? From Avatria,
Yeah.
now TransPerfect.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. So I'm the Vice President of Digital Services at TransPerfect, which is Avatria, a TransPerfect company. We just went through an acquisition at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Avatria has been a partner to Kitestring
Yes.
for multiple years. We're really excited to continue that relationship. Here at NRF, obviously, everyone's talking retail, everyone's talking all those use cases you're talking about. It's really interesting because that's really evolved over the last few years of what people's expectations are, right? So the buy online, pick up in store journey that you described, how people figure that will play out compared to I want to try it before I buy it, right? And maybe something more of like a reserve to pick up in store or see what sizes are available. A lot of people shop, buy multiple sizes, ship to home, pick what they want, go back to the store. So really the experience in retail that we're trying to deliver these days is how do we bring that journey from shopping online to being cohesive once that customer is in a store.
Right.
There's a really simple flow where they know exactly what they want, they're buying it again, they know their size. They're going to buy that online, they're going to show up in store, pick it up, and it's done. Or they're going to ship it to their home, honestly, more likely. But the journey you're asking about here at the beginning of the podcast, that I don't know how it fits, I don't know what color I like, let me see some options. That's really where, we look to build the cohesive experience from online, on your phone, to once you get into a physical retail location.
And I think those experiences are precisely what drives those conversations of omni-commerce, when we talk about the idea that I can buy from every single touch point available. I can start this from a browser on my phone, sitting on my couch, just because I saw something nice on TV, on a show that I'm watching, whatever, to the full browser, to the store. And that cohesiveness of the experience is what everyone is after. I think the ability to remove some friction, you brought up a really interesting use case, right? This is something that does happen. Like I buy, and then the things that I don't like, I can return. But my experience of returning should be just as simple as when I purchase. So we're talking about full journey end to end here. And how do you guys deal with all the hype about, not necessarily deal, but how are you integrating or embracing it, all the hype about AI, analytics, and a lot of the new technologies that are out there happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, digital commerce has always been kind of the leading edge of some of these technology experiences. And to some extent, people start looking at it as a commoditized experience, right? It's anyone can deploy a cart, a checkout, get in, get out. So then as people start introducing things like AI, other capabilities, you have to avoid some of those same pitfalls, right? Just doing it to do it, building the features because you heard about it, solving a problem you might not have. The real answer is to look at that end-to-end experience, right? That's the piece that retailers are trying to solve, again, from the customer journey online to in-store. How can an AI agent help you find your product? How can it help you understand the status of your order?
Right.
How can it help you once you get to the store, right? Navigate the store, find the product you're looking for. And again, once you're in the store and there's a store associate, right, there's someone that can help you, whether it's at a register on the sales floor. How can we quickly tie that customer to their online persona, right? Speaking of analytics.
That's a fantastic,
right?
There is a disconnect sometimes between the brick and mortar environment and the online.com environment. And I wanted to ask you that. What do you think is the influence From e-commerce down or from brick and mortar up?
You know, it depends on the retailer,
Okay.
on kind of where their presence is felt. So the way to think of it is typically the first touch point with a customer
Right.
is going to be online.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But the brand, the persona, the touch from a sales associate's perspective that you build in your brick and mortar location, right?
Yeah.
And so from a customer perspective, I think the journey begins often either online or at least knowing the brand online. And from a retailer's perspective, it's how do we take what we want that brick and mortar experience to be,
Right.
and make sure all of our channels feel the same way.
Agreed.
Right. And so I think, again, from a customer perspective, they're not thinking about what channel am I in.
Nope.
They're thinking about, hey, I saw this thing online. Now I'm in the store. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Or I ordered it. Where is it? How quickly can I pick it up? Your use case of, I saw it online. I bought it, but I'm not sure if it'll fit. Do you want to try it on before you leave?
Yeah.
So we can get a different size for you before you get out the door, right? I've had that experience myself. It's not a dress, but, picking up something at Old Navy, right?
Yep,
It's like,
yep.
I don't know if I'm whatever size. And they're like, go try it on. And if it's not right, let's get you in the right size right away. So you don't have to go home, bring it back, come back and forth, right? So however people want to shop, we're trying to support all those different shopping personas that people have, coming back to that topic. And then again, connecting that online experience with the in-store experience and being able to kind of treat that like one customer persona, right? That's where the loyalty, the analytics, the customer accounts, all that ties together to build that cohesive view of customer that, when done right, makes that customer experience, blows it out of the water.
To me, the .com and the e-commerce, all of these aspects that you're describing are enhancements to what was the traditional retailing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I like the idea that if I did not start online, I walk into the store for whatever reason, I try something, was not the right size, the associate helped me find out the right size, but they might not have the right color on my side. But you know what? Don't worry. Let me pull my mobile tablet, something like that, bring you the online experience here, and continue your journey, right? Just because we didn't have the specific product that you want right now doesn't mean that this interaction finishes. Now I can use .com to enhance that experience, continue it, and you go home and the product will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, that's table stakes, right? That's what people have come to expect in the last 10 years of this or longer now. There's all these capabilities you hear about, and it's because of how much importance order management, extended aisle, right? These are terms that have been around for a long time, and they play into these use cases where you're exactly right. We talk about POS, point of sale with Kitestring. That retail experience is how quickly can you, at your store point of sale, say, I'll sell you the blue one here. We also have the green. I'll have that shipped to you from a store, from a warehouse, whatever, in a day, in 2 days, right? And I'll take all your payment here in one go. The customer feels that cohesive experience. That order flows through the systems. The routing behind the scenes know, hey, one of these was already fulfilled in the store. One of these is going to get fulfilled by mail, right? That's all table stakes at this point for what I think the customer expects when they come into a store. And you mentioned something here at the beginning that the commerce experience is, being bolted on to like that brick and mortar. But again, customers, they might see it from the opposite perspective, right? And again, it depends on the industry, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important when you get to the store that you feel like your online shopping experience is continuing.
Agreed.
Right? If you see a UI in the store, it looks the same. If you talk to a sales associate, they're not asking you for your phone number, your email, and your order number, and they're scanning everything, right? Like, it's, I know who you are, I know what you're doing, let's continue that experience. Now, I will also say there's, of course, industries and verticals where it leads from brick and mortar, right? Again, we do a lot of work with convenience stores, right? And gas station. That doesn't have a tremendous online presence. Maybe, some of our beloved brands that have food and things that have become a destination unto itself. Maybe you're ordering online, or you're using a DoorDash to get a delivery, or you want it online, and now the connection is you use the app, you order your sandwich, you get there, you get your fuel, you go inside, your sandwich is ready for you. And it's ready because you use that same app to scan to pay for your fuel. They
Yeah.
say, hey, we know that customer's outside. Start making their sandwich.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in. Your sandwich is ready. We saw you were on pump 4, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, continue, especially when you're on the road with your kids. You don't want to stop at a place, you still have 4 hours ahead of you. You don't want to stop at a place in which I have to get them out and then wrangle them back in. Like, I just want to continue going, right?
Absolutely.
I like that experience. I think you were mentioning the brick and mortar and the point of sale. There is a lot of influence now from .com down to the design of point of sale, because now my point of sale has to be flexible enough that I can customize it to be the extension of .com, not the other way around.
And exactly that, right? And that is how Avatria and Kitestring develop a pretty close partnership. Is you guys know point of sale. Avatria has really experienced that .com commerce, omni-channel commerce experience. And so as we've come to clients, again, even clients aren't thinking about it like two pieces anymore. They're saying,
yes,
here's my website. In the store, I want to browse my website, right?
Yes.
Seems logical. Well, the integrations, regardless of the point of sale platform, I'm pointing to the wonderful display you guys have of multiple point of sales
all of
here
these
at
guys
NRF.
here have to do that.
Yeah. And so it's how do we integrate that experience? How do we integrate technology? And how do we make it seamless so that, to your point exactly, even the retailer's expectation is, I have a website. Why couldn't I just use it to add the product to the cart that I need to ship to the customer compared to what they're going to buy online?
So
or
let me
buy
ask
in
you
store,
this. Whenever you're working with a client, what's the common friction point that you see all the time?
Yeah, I mean,
or misconception maybe?
I would say, why are we in this industry? The common friction point is technology.
Okay.
Right? People have disparate tech stacks.
Sure.
Right? And they're not thinking cohesively, and rightfully so. They might not even know their cohesive kind of capabilities across platforms, right?
That they should or they could even be cohesive.
Exactly. Which is why it's so important for what we do. We're not just coming in and, okay, what's your technology problem? We're going to solve it, right?
Right.
It's what's your business problem? What's your technology space? Let us help you understand not just how to solve your problems, but the art of the possible. What else can you do
love that phrase.
with your technology? And so we've done it together on multiple projects where we're pitching stuff to customers that then we're going back to these point of sale companies and saying, hey, we have a good idea for how we could do something. Now you guys, we're going to ask you to innovate with us, right?
Yeah.
And so it's been really exciting. I'm getting fired up here. The last 2 years,
Absolutely.
we've been really doing cool stuff. With the concepts go beyond any point of sale specifically, right? And any commerce platform. The concepts are, what do our customers continue to see as business problems, that cohesive omni-channel experience, and how can we solve that between the in-store point of sale, the mobile app, the online shopping experience, and nowadays, layer over the top of all that, we want AI to be a part of it, right?
That's the hot topic right now.
It's
Right?
the
Like
hot
everyone
topic.
is wanting to figure out that use case or set of use cases. Because to me, and people that have heard this podcast for a while probably gonna hear this one again. Whenever you got, if you tell me, oh, the use cases of AI are just infinite, it's exactly the same as if you were telling me AI doesn't have use cases. But if you can tell me specifically how AI can work in my experience for the customer, for me, for my retailer, because what the people that are thinking about AI critically are already thinking not just my online chatbot interface. I'm thinking what other use cases I can help my store associates, my home office associates, and my customers, right? They're trying to figure out like where I can go in a specific. To me, AI is still in that state. Not the technology itself. The technology is at a point in which now we can start harvesting some of these if we think of them right, I think.
Yeah. And AI, the two flavors of it is, how do we bring your brand into an AI landscape and make sure what you guys are doing is friendly for Gen AI solutions to find you? We've started calling that AEO, GEO, right? It's the new modern SEO, right? How do we bring your brand to that? And then, so Avatria has been doing a lot of work in that space, helping customers understand what the landscape looks like, what their brand, whether it's online, in-store, all those capabilities kind of play in there. And then to your point, when a customer comes to us and says, we want AI, right away, it's a red flag. You don't want AI. You want AI to solve a use case. Tell me what that use case is, right? The red flag is, we just want some AI stuff. That's your point. When the possibilities are infinite, there's, what are we trying to do here, right? But when you know, and a lot of times our customers don't, right? They say, well,
exactly the opposite direction, right?
Yeah. And so the answer, going back to what we were just talking about, is let's work with our customers to understand their challenges, their friction points, what is and isn't working for them, and then we can bring to them solutions that say, yeah, AI could be a help here.
Right.
But we can also say, you don't need AI. There's already a solution. Your point of sale might have an integration with an order management system that already can route your orders in the most efficient manner. Don't worry about the AI piece right then and there in the store. Let's leverage a capability that something in your tech stack already has, right? Or your commerce platform. So for us, it's, again, painting that end-to-end experience, really understanding the customer journey. At the end of the day, that's the most important piece, right?
Yes.
And then how do we make the store associate have as frictionless of an experience with that? You mentioned home office. We've done a lot of work with call centers, a lot of picking up the phone and saying, where's my order? How do I need help?
Yeah.
Of course, AI can help in that space, but ultimately people need to talk to someone usually. And so again, depending on the brand, depending on the industry, all those touch points really paint that end-to-end customer journey.
Leo, I have like a million questions that I want to go from here, but just in the interest of time, let me ask you one final one. In the next 3 to 5 years, what's the one problem that or challenge that you think we will be able to actually solve? Like, we are this close to hit it in the head and get it done.
You're hitting me with the tough questions. What is the one problem that we'll actually be able to solve? I'm assuming we'll keep our focus on digital commerce and omni-channel commerce. I think it's going to be, honestly, even removing the concept of channels, right? It's not great. Where did you place your order?
Yeah.
It's not, let me switch to a different system because you did it online. Or, the mobile app, that uses a different payment integration, right? I think the problem we're going to solve is just dropping all those types of concepts, at least outwardly to the customer, inwardly to the store associate. Our IT teams will always have to think of it, right? But it's going to just feel like one shopping experience. Whether that means you're using your phone in the store to build your checkout as you're carting items, or you've added something to your cart in store or online. You forgot about it. You get in the store at the cash register. They're saying, and did you also want the blue T-shirt? We have that in stock.
That you had already in your cart.
That you had already in your cart. Exactly, right. And so the customer doesn't even think, I started that online. I started that on the app. They think, I shopped with retailer A, and I've had one experience through and through.
I love that. Leo, I want to thank you very much for this conversation. I sincerely have like 10 more questions that I want to branch out of here. So we need to have a follow-up here.
We'll have a follow-up. Absolutely. Love that. Thank you for having me on. It's been great. You guys are doing a really cool thing here at NRF, and we continue to be excited to be a partner with Kitestring.
Same. The sentiment is mutual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.